Oh, and Shane joins us now. It's lovely to see
great to
you.
see you guys
Welcome,
as well.
welcome. Now, this is something that you used to do in your childhood, wasn't it?
Yeah, as a child growing up, my mum and dad used to take me and my brother to Pontins holiday camp. This is way before you could go fly out, to Spain with bucket holidays. So in the late 60s, early 70s, I spent a lot of my childhood on holiday parks, and in particular Pontins. And it wasn't until I was, funny enough, looking back at that, I started Pontins when I auditioned when I was 15, and I should have been at school. And I went to work for the first time at 16 and forged my medical card there. I don't think I had a passport then, and had to pretend I was 18 to work. So for a couple of years, I was lying about my age. And being an out-of-work actor, like a lot of us were back in the early days, I'd go and do this seasonal job working at a holiday camp at Pontins, and I've just been saying, it's followed me for the best part of 40 years. And then, I mean, now you work on a holiday park, you can do 12 months a year, but back then it was like 8 weeks or 10 weeks, and I think I did 3 seasons. But staying on holiday parks and then going back and doing this series, what an eye-opener. Have you stayed in caravans?
Yeah,
long time ago when I was a kid. But,
And what do you remember about them?
Well, the thing is that my dad used to... He went to Holland to buy an old... VW van that from companies, because they were cheaper there once they'd used them in the company. We had one that had written on the side of it for ages, ACF Pharmaceutic Groot handle.
What?
Yeah. And
how much is that worth now?
I don't know. And then he would convert it into a caravan.
See, that's
so
very
we did
cool,
France,
isn't it?
and we did Ireland, all of us in the back of the VW.
Well, these caravans, ones I stayed in back in the day, certainly even when I was touring as an actor, I'd sometimes stay in caravans, or as a comic, around the holiday parks and pubs and clubs I'd stay. And then going back 40 years later, and Channel 5 were kind enough to say, listen, we're going to give you 4 weeks, go with your family and friends and go and stay at some of these holiday parks and try out some of these new caravans. Guys, I swear, they were unbelievable. There was one of them on the Isle of Wight, it is, and it was like Liam Gallagher must have designed it. It was a real Britpop. There was a sunken bath, 4 TVs in the rooms. It was incredible. And these are caravans.
So you go with your family.
The first one that goes out Friday is us and Real.
OK, so did that take some convincing? Had they been on sort of caravan? Right,
nightmare.
OK.
My missus is watching now, a very posh lady from Surrey. You've met the missus. And the in-laws, all from Surrey. And when I said, listen, we're going to go, they want me to do this show, a caravan, well, the first look, I won't give you, the second look, they said no. They didn't want to do it. So I had to sit down and talk them into it. And after 2 days at the park, we were there for a week, they absolutely loved it.
So what changed their opinion?
I think it was, number one, how nice the caravans are. And B, I'd always talk to them about there's a certain community on caravan parks. Of course, there's holiday makers, but there's also a lot of people that spend sometimes 40 weeks of the year there. And there's a real, back in the day, people talk about leaving your front doors open. Well, they do that on caravan parks.
Right.
And I said to the kids, right, because, my 3 youngest, 11, 8 and 13, no iPads, no electrical equipment. I just want you to go out, we're going to leave the doors open and go and play. And it just reminded me as a kid growing up.
Yeah, what
where
it was
people
like
say you
for
could leave your doors open. And like I said, the community, we didn't see the kids. They'd get up in the morning, we were on the beach with some of the entertainment team playing in the ballroom and just having lots of fun.
I think this summer just gone, 2 million Brits had their holidays in static caravans.
Yeah.
And maybe it's going to get better and better to actually stay here.
And also with the present climate, socially and politically, I think people are frightened,
economically as well.
Yeah.
Sort of climate-wise, you should stay in your own country.
Yeah.
But you were saying what was amazing was how much you discovered, how much there is to do.
Well, listen, I had no idea. Now, I've spent a lot of my career travelling up and down the country doing touring shows and whatnot. And you can literally drive from where you live in the country. If you were to say, right, let's get in a car for 90 minutes and drive in any direction, you will find a wonderful caravan site and a caravan park that puts on great entertainment and where, like I said, families do come together. And these caravans, I still can't get over how beautiful some of them are.
Yeah.
You've got some sort of tips for if you're going to go.
You're going to ask me now, are you?
Well, home comforts. You can take your home comforts with you.
Yeah, after doing it for 4 weeks, I kind of look back on it thinking, Rob, what did I miss? And it was just things like, when you get there, do you really want to go food shopping? So, just fill up a plastic container, a box with stuff you got at home, your salt and pepper or your ketchup. Put them in the back of the car. You might have your favourite pillow. Look at me sitting here talking about
your favourite pillow. What has happened to you?
No, but you know what I mean. They're like just home comforts that you bring to your caravan.
Your own tea bag.
Your own tea bags. There you go, girl. You got it. Yeah. And just home comforts. But you'll find when you get to how very little time you'll actually spend in the caravan, which is evident with this TV show because I go out and I do other stuff around the area, which one of them I go sea fishing in the North Sea. I get involved in a country and western reenactment, and also a lovely thing we did in North Devon, they do once a year, where they reenact the D-Day landings. Very emotional. Thousands of people turned up, and we had the honour and the opportunity to join in with that and get involved.
Well, that's the new show, Friday at night on Channel 5. At the moment, you are in a very, very different role. I mean, this is heavy stuff, isn't it? A down and out, really ex-comedian who's hard on his luck. And it's The Entertainer is the
based on the John Osborne, yeah.
And he's not a nice man.
No, and it's interesting how funny enough we've just got back from Wolverhampton off to Coventry tomorrow. And we've had people leave.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Is that because they're coming and going, oh, that nice Shane Richie?
Yeah.
Alfie Moon's on stage.
Yeah, and they see the poster, and of course it's based on a character called Archie Rice, played by Laurence Olivier, and Kenneth Branagh and Bob Lindsay have done it. Wonderful actors in the past have done it. But they've all set theirs in 1957 at the end of vaudeville, you know, and old-time musical stuff. Mine is set in 1982, where it's loosely based on a lot of them comics that were on at the Comedians, without giving away. There's a little bit of Manning in there, you know. And so the stand-up I do is very some sexist, homophobic and racist, because I need the audience, because the audience are a big, major part of the show. And if the end of Act 1, they loathe and detest who this character is, by the second half, they get to see an insight into why he's like that, and the payoff at the end is quite heartbreaking.
It's
tough
suppose
to play.
really it's tough to play
is.
because that sort of humour is now so deeply, deeply out of fashion. People perhaps can't get beyond the point. This is a play. This is not real.
I'll tell you what's interesting, though, Phil, is seeing an audience after we come off every night and seeing an audience, and there's different generations. There's those that laugh with me and those that laugh at me. And sometimes I've come out and I've done some really horrible, nasty material that jars with me as a performer, but with Archie Rice, this is who he is and this is his life. And when I come off in the interval and I just stare at the rest of the cast and I go, oh my God, they laughed at that.
Yeah.
They found that fun. But don't forget, it wasn't that long ago. You know, these were comics that were big names, and it was a staple part of our Saturday night, Friday night TV.
Where are you at the moment with that one?
We are off to Coventry, and then I go we're in Brighton, then we've got Manchester, and then Shrewsbury and Richmond.
And you're touring back with everybody's talking about Jamie, that's coming
Put the Hills on next year.
So that's a bit of light.
Queen,
that's kind of get
Are
back
you
to
ever
that.
home?
Yes, I try and do it.
You're not in a caravan, you're on the road.
I try and do a tour where, if I do decide to tour, that I am home a lot for the school run. I can commute it. There's obviously some dates I can't, but they're getting used to it now, the kids.
Are you going to go back to EastEnders? Is that done?
I don't know.
Back?
I don't know. It's one of them decisions that, you know, at the moment...
Alfie Moon's still alive.
I know,
He's
you
played
owe
the drag
Phil
queen in
Mitchell some
Torremolinos,
money.
apparently, and he's still on the run, I believe. I still speak to Jessie, she gives me updates, but the show's in good shape at the moment. If I was to go, I mean, maybe 2021, because I'm busy next year, so it may be the year after.
So it's not a no?
No, definitely. No, and I love going, but I love being there. I love playing Alfie Moon. I miss the people that are there. I still keep in touch with them, and occasionally I dip in and out of the show and find out, you know, if I get a mention occasionally.
Well, it's really nice to see you.
Thank you very much, guys.
So Caravanning with Shane Richie is on Fridays at 9 on Channel 5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Right, still